we're going over 5 amazing exercises to practice on the drums, and we're not going to waste any time. Here's exercise 1. This first exercise is an amazing thing to practice to build your single stroke speed, and especially to get comfortable leading with either hand. I got this from my drum teacher when I was a kid. I later learned that apparently this is taken from Joe Morello's book, and it's the stone killer exercise, or one of the stone killer exercises from George Lawrence Stone. So what we're gonna do, play 8th notes with one hand for a measure before playing 16th notes leading with the opposite hand the following measure. That goes left hand, right hand singles, right hand, followed by left hand singles. Do this as slow as you need to in order to get all of your strokes even with both hands, whether you're just playing your left hand or playing the alternating singles leading with either hand. I love practicing this exercise because it's the perfect excuse to make sure you're practicing leading with either hand equally. And that's something we often forget to work on as drummers. Exercise 2 is something that I came up with to pretty much just torture myself a couple years ago. And that is the idea that we are gonna play perfect unisons with both of our hands. That in particular is something really beneficial in order to just fine-tune your playing. We're very used to playing flams and playing those grace notes with our hands slightly apart from each other, which means that being able to play them completely in line, together, no flaming whatsoever, can be pretty difficult if you haven't practiced it much. So this exercise is very simple. Just play any note rate, the slower the better, and get both your hands to line up exactly the same at all times. Here's the next part, and this is really hard. Every 4th note, we're going to accent one hand, but you have to make sure that both your hands stay completely lined up. Even though one hand is lifting up, you can't let them flam. They both have to impact the drum at the same time. A practice pad is incredibly useful because if you're trying to play unisons on a snare drum, it makes the sound kind of peaky and resonant. But on a pad, you can very clearly hear when your hands are apart or together. Exercise 3 is a fun one that I like to play all the time. I use it just about a dozen ways on the kit, and that would be Swiss triplets. Now, the way I really like to play Swiss triplets is without the flammy. So just like the previous exercise, we're gonna take that flam, we're gonna flatten it and play both hands together in unison. Next, I like to incorporate my double technique of opening and closing my fingers with every 2 strokes, every double stroke on each hand. That allows me to play very even in dynamics with the Swiss triplets, and also allows me to push the speed really fast. And here's what it looks like on the pad. And here's what it looks like on the kit. I almost forgot about this. I made a PDF of all of these exercises so you can read and practice along with the notation. So make sure you hit the link in the description. And now back to the video. You can play it as triplets, you can play it as 16th notes, groupings of 3. Everything here is so useful and musical, and it creates a lot of fun phrases. Exercise 4 is coincidentally groupings of 4. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take any group of 4 that you play and we're gonna switch it over to playing it within triplets. No. If you have triplets, you can group them as 3, 6, 9, or 12 note groupings. So we're just multiplying that out. So let's say we're taking a group of 12. For instance, a measure of 8th note triplets. That's 12 notes. All we have to do is take your sticking of 4 notes and plug it in 3 times, and you're gonna get those 12 notes. Quick side note, this exercise was recommended to me by my friend Ashlyn Chinefelt. You should check her out. She's a great drummer based in Austin, Texas. Thanks to Ashlyn for helping me with this video. It can definitely be uncomfortable to fit these groupings together at first, so you have to really take it slow. One thing that really works is to play 2 groupings of 6 or 1 grouping of 12. Let's say just single strokes as triplets, 1 and a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you play that naturally as triplets to give yourself the pacing to play the 4 note grouping. So here is double strokes, right, right, left, left as triplets, alternating between that and the single strokes as triplets. That might be something that you're comfortable playing as 16th notes or 32nd notes and have that da-da-da-da-da-da-da kind of thing where it's 4 notes grouped as 4 notes. But when we place it in triplets, you're gonna play it 3 times within a group of 12 notes. So that can feel very funny at first. So what you wanna do is switch between something that feels more natural as triplets for a measure or 2, and then go to the 4 note grouping within triplets. Exercise 5, 5 note sticking this time, and I labeled this. Here's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the 5 note flam unison push-pull sticking as triplets. I actually use this sticking quite a lot. We're incorporating a lot of what we've learned in the previous exercises. First of all, part of the sticking is a Swiss triplet. We're playing flam, right, left. But just like the Swiss triplet before, we're gonna flatten that flam. We're gonna play both of our hands together perfectly. After flam, right, left, not a flam, we're playing right, left to make it 5 note sticking, and we're gonna loop that. Just like exercise 4, we're gonna take our 5 note sticking and play it as triplets. So this is where it really helps to write it out in however many measures it takes. I'll tell you that once I actually write it out myself. You can actually note by note, draw out a couple measures of triplets and then start filling in this pattern above it with the hands that you're gonna play with this 5 note sticking that loops. When you plug a 5 note sticking in as triplets and then it loops after the 5th note, it's a little funny to think about, it's a little funny to play it first. So after 5 notes, you have 1 note left in every 6 note grouping, but that's where the sticking starts over. You're feeling both rhythms at once and getting them to fit together. It's a lot of fun, it creates some amazing phrases. Okay, next, you can watch these other videos, and I'm gonna point and put them somewhere on the screen, including some flam exercises, hand speed technique, a lot of really great stuff. Click those links, and I'll see you over there.